Okay, so I found this Reddit post, and it's very interesting because of how the person is expressing things and the ideas of other people that they are trying to incorporate in their life. So guess what I'm anxious says? How do you let go of trauma, your past? So that's the first thing to pay attention to. The person is asking about others. How do you? So when somebody uses you, it's either they're talking about an externalized version of themselves. I talk to myself, I say, why don't you focus more? So that's how people approach things in a certain way. Or this person is trying to relate to other people's experiences on how they let go of trauma from their perspective. So they start as follows. I always see people saying to truly heal trauma or even heal anxiety, you need to let go. Now, one thing to keep in mind, we have two hemispheres in the brain. We have a hemisphere that is usually known to be the logical hemisphere, and then we have another hemisphere that's usually known to be the metaphorical, imagistic, etc. Although this is very different between different people, we can all agree that there are parts of our brain that are more logical, responsible for words, and there are other parts of our brain that are more responsible for images, metaphors, etc. So when somebody says, I'm stuck, I've reached the end of my road, I've hit a brick wall, somebody is speaking in a metaphorical sense. And when somebody speaks in a metaphorical sense, you would expect them to be experiencing stuff from their right hemisphere. One great book to read about that way of thinking is George Lakoff's Metaphors We Live By, or Seeing the Metaphors of Movement Work. So if we go back to what the person is saying and just point out the metaphorical discrepancies that are happening in that specific place. So the person over here is saying, so to truly heal trauma, I have this opposite. So, so to truly heal trauma or anxiety, you need to let go. This presumes sickness or injury, excuse my horrible handwriting. This assumes a burden. So I am carrying something. Here, when somebody is healing from something, they need time to heal. They want to recover from something. So if we think of it metaphorically, healing from something is either being sick or being hurt. And usually it's emotional injuries, which sometimes in the works like metaphors of movement, we call the Hertz bias. So if we see it on a visual, here's the difference between this person's experience and what other people are expecting them to do, or they are telling them to do. So we have this person over here, and let's say this is them, okay, and they have been stabbed by the metaphorical knife, which is a stab in the back. Let's say this is it. Or they feel sick from their trauma and they are bedridden. They just want to take time off to relax and recover. Compared with this person, let's say this person is looking this way, compared with this person who is carrying a load of stuff, this person can effectively let go, while this person over here cannot let go. This person over here cannot let go. This person needs to take time and rest, recover. This person needs to attend to their wounds and cover them. This person might be scarred, and this person might recover without any scars. It's going to be only internal because sickness affects the interior of the body. All right? So the idea here, if I tell one of these two people to, I'm going to change colors. Let go. Does this sound to anyone like sound advice? Absolutely not. But if I tell this person to let go, probably he or she can effectively let go. So speaking in metaphors to people who are experiencing certain things is received by the right hemisphere that is more emotional, more imagistic, more metaphorical, literally. So they won't understand, how do I heal this by letting go of something? Let's continue what this person was mentioning. I can guess that they mean, so this person isn't even sure, don't let it affect your life massively. So still this person is talking from a perspective of an external viewer. And then this person goes, but I just don't understand how to do that or work towards that. Obviously, this person is not gonna understand it because his or her experience is very different than what other people are mentioning. I have pretty severe trauma, and I also have agoraphobia, BPD, panic disorder as a result. I've done almost a decade of therapy before, during, and after my trauma, and I'm still taking medication, and I still seem to have my past looming over me. Here's the giveaway. So if we pay attention to what's being said over here, I have done so many things, but I have still seem to have my, let me just remove this from here. I have my past looming over me always, despite like I'm relatively healed over it. Okay, it's always there and still gets in the way often. Okay, so the past is looming over the person. At the same time, the person feels that they are over it, but it still gets in the way. Let's see how this can translate into a metaphorical experience. So how is the right brain probably experiencing these things? So in some contexts, this person is going to have an experience this way. So they're going to be standing someplace, and the past is looming over them. Now, I could have said this is something environmental, but it's not environmental because it doesn't seem like a cloud over their head. It doesn't seem something that is part of an environment. It looms. And then this person says, it seems like I'm almost over it, but it still gets in the way. So it gets in the way. So these are two different contexts. In some context, this person feels that the past is looming above their head. In other context, this person feels that this past is blocking their way. In both cases, this person doesn't let go, because in both cases, the past is either more important, because when things appear in a person's metaphor to be higher than them, in a certain sense, they are more important, because the higher things are in metaphors. So when somebody says, it's like I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, things are above them, things are more important, and they need to carry this responsibility. For this person, he's not carrying, or she's not carrying the responsibility, but it's over their head. It's way over their head. And at the same time, it's looming. So it might show up at any time. So when it comes down to and crashes down to earth, in a certain sense, it blocks their way. So they cannot move forward. So when this person earlier says, I cannot plan my way forward, it's because their past blocks it. Now, what is a block in a metaphor? A block in a metaphor is a rule. And this rule says, you shall not pass. Cue Lord of the Rings, Gandalf vibes. So whenever this person is living Their past is always something that's hanging over their head that might drop at any time, that might depress them, because in English, depressing is pressing. At the same time, if it's not over their head, it falls in front of them, it blocks their way. Now, what this person is trying to do or is trying to say, that it seems sometimes they are partially trying to get over it. They're almost getting over it, but somehow it goes back and it looms over their head. Now, this is exactly why letting go doesn't work for this person. And if you're watching this video, I'm going to post it in the comments. This is why the option of letting go doesn't apply to the situational thing that you're experiencing, according to how you're expressing things in your right hemisphere. And then the person continues and says, I know there's no quick way to heal this kind of thing, but I generally don't really know any skills on how to manage this stuff. If I'm being honest, a lot of my recovery focus has been on my anxiety rather than my trauma, as it was the most pressing issue up until now. I know, especially with BPD diagnosis, I'm never fully or truly going to be normal, but I do want to be the best version of myself despite my diagnosis. I'd love advice or stories or suggestions. Just keep in mind, I am agoraphobic, so any suggestions need to be accessible to me from home. I can go for short walks, but not outside that. So this person has a very dangerous past that's looming above their head that might crash at them at any time, depress them, stop them from going anywhere. At the same time, this past blocks their way, so they cannot move forward. It says no because of whatever happened in this person's past. So what's a bit of advice? This past that's hanging over their head, what's the mechanism of the movement of this past, metaphorically speaking? And when the past crashes down to earth, is the only way forward, or is there a right way to go around this, or is there a way to go find something different, find different options, or get to the bottom of things and understand where is this coming from, or get over it if this person has enough skills. So the idea is, despite all of the diagnostics, by understanding the person's linguistics and how they're trying to express things, talk about things, it makes a lot of sense in understanding why certain models don't apply to them, why certain approaches don't help them out, and why they don't get results. Thanks for watching this video. I'm Roni, and I analyze videos and chats and posts people do on different places and different forums about their experiences, and talk about why some people find easy solutions to things and why other people find a lot of challenges and their life is basically hell in trying to find certain answers and solutions.